Hello and welcome to this microchip tutorial video on installing SoftConsole version 6 with Renode on RHEL. There are several steps you have to take when installing SoftConsole. The first is to download a copy of the installer and the release notes from the Microsemi website. The second is to make the installer executable using chmod +x followed by the name of the installer command and then run the installer to install SoftConsole. Third, you have to run some post-install commands to add packages. And fourth, you need to add sources for monocomplete and then install monocomplete itself. So let's get started and have a look at actually doing this on RHEL. So the first thing I have to do is download a copy of the SoftConsole release notes and the installer from the Microsemi website. The easiest way to do this is to go to microsemi.com/FPGA. When the page is loaded, select FPGA and SoC design tools from the left-hand side. Once you're there, you can select SoftConsole from the left-hand side. This will take you to the SoftConsole product page. From here you can go to the Downloads tab and select the SoftConsole version 6 download for Linux. This opens up the Microsemi SoC portal, and you can log in with your username and password here, and if you don't have an account you can click on New User to set one up. Once you've done that, you can download a copy of the SoftConsole installer by clicking on the link, and if you get a pop-up warning you can simply allow pop-ups to let the download begin. While that downloads, I'm also going to get a copy of the SoftConsole release notes. I'm going to wait and let those finish downloading. So now that they've finished downloading, I'm going to close Firefox and go to my Downloads folder. So in here I now have a copy of the installer and a copy of the release notes. I'm going to open up the release notes now. In the release notes I'm going to go to the installation section and then the Linux heading and then the installing heading. This section describes the SoftConsole install steps, and the first thing it tells you is what the name of the installer actually is, and that's this file that I've downloaded here. So it says when you download the installer, the executable permission bit needs to be set, and to do this you need to open a terminal in your downloads folder and use a chmod +x followed by the name of the installer command to set the executable bit. Next you can run the installer by using // and the name of the installer, and I'm actually going to install in console mode. So if I return to my downloads folder and open a terminal, I can type in chmod +x and then mi followed by a tab to fill in the name of the installer. And then next I can type in // Microsemi SoftConsole installer, and then if I add in -- mode console at the end, it'll run in console mode without opening up a GUI. So unless if I want to install SoftConsole, I'm going to type in Y for yes, and then I can hit enter to accept the default install directory, and then the installation will begin. So now that the installation is complete, I'm going to return to my release notes and go to the after installing section. So this section lists off several commands that you have to run once you've installed SoftConsole. And the first one is to allow me to debug 32-bit hardware targets, and it says that I need to run these commands with root or sudo privileges. So I can just copy the CentOS or RHEL command directly from the release notes and paste it into my terminal. And I'm going to make sure that I've made myself root before I do this. So I'm going to allow the command to run through and install whatever packages it needs. So now that that's complete, I'm going to go back to the release notes, and the next command to run is to install GCC and make, and these are usually installed by default, but it's better to check if they're there. So once again, I can just copy the command directly from the release notes and paste it into my terminal. So now that that's completed, and it says that there are no packages available to install, I'm going to go back to the release notes, and finally, there's one more step that I have to take. And that's if I want to use Renode, there are some more packages that have to be installed. And I'm going to have to go to the Mono project website and add sources from my repository. And then the command to install Mono is listed below. So if I follow this link in Firefox now, it'll take me to the download section of the Mono website, and I can just select CentOS or RHEL from the top. And as I'm running CentOS 7, I'm going to copy the commands directly from the actual download page and paste them into my terminal again. So once I pasted the command, I can just run it and then return and copy and paste the next command into my terminal. So now that I've run both of those commands, I'm going to close Firefox again, and finally I just need to copy and paste the installation command from the release notes into my terminal. So now that that's complete, I've successfully installed SoftConsole and run the post-installation steps. So now I just want to check and make sure that my installation is correct. So I'm going to launch SoftConsole. And when you launch SoftConsole, you'll be able to select what workspace you want to use. And there are two included workspaces: an empty workspace with no projects in it, and an example workspace that has several example projects. And I'm going to launch that one. So now that SoftConsole is opened, and this is actually my first time running it, the C/C++ indexer is running in the bottom right hand corner. It's advisable to wait and make sure that the C/C++ indexer has finished running before you try to actually do anything in SoftConsole. So now I just want to check my Renode installation, and I can do that with the external tool configurator. There are two included Renode platforms: the Mi5 Renode emulation platform and the PolarFire SoC Renode emulation platform, and they're both pre-configured to launch Renode for you. I'm going to just run the Mi5 emulation platform to test things. So now I can see Renode has launched and my UART analyzer is opened. But if I try to expand the size of the Renode window or select it, I get several errors coming up on my console. These errors are related to the version of GTK being used by SoftConsole. If I return to the release notes, there is actually a section on how to resolve this. In the After Installing section, there is a note about unstable UI issues in CentOS 7, and I'm going to click on this to go to the correct section of the release notes. Here there's a note saying that GTK. So if I go to my SoftConsole installation path or installation directory,
UI issues. If ARM targets aren't being used,
which is in my home folder, and then microsemi SoftConsole. I can open the softconsole.sh file with the text editor and simply comment out the top export line, which will stop SoftConsole forcing use of GTK2. So if I save the file and close it, and then I can launch SoftConsole from its installation directory by typing in // and then softconsole.sh. If I launch from the example workspaces once again, because this is my second launch, I don't need the C/C++ indexer isn't running, so I can go straight to the external tool configurator and launch the Mi5 Renode emulation platform. So now Renode is started up, and once again my UART analyzer is opened, and this time I can pull my UART analyzer over. I can also select the Renode window and expand the size of it. So that shows how to successfully set up SoftConsole version 6 with Renode on RHEL. So just to summarize what was covered in this video, I downloaded a copy of the SoftConsole installer and release notes from the Microsemi website. I made the installer executable and installed SoftConsole. I then ran the post-installation commands from the release notes and added the sources for monocomplete and installed monocomplete as well. We have a significant amount of supporting content available on our website for SoftConsole and Renode, and this can be found by going to microsemi.com/FPGA, then the Mi5 RISC-V ecosystem section, and then the Renode webinar series tab.